What's good, everybody? It's your boy BOOGOTTINYC, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere, but the fact that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. I'm not going to take up a lot of y'all time because I know y'all time is valuable, but I do appreciate the fact that y'all did come here. So what I would like for you to do is go check out the website. First of all, got some nice merch over there. Big Drip, www.drinkbigdrip.com. What that is a hard punch. 14% alcohol by volume, raspberry, grape, lemon. Get yourself a 4-pack, www.drinkbigdrip.com. Let's go. Let's get into it. Big drip. Let's go. Good morning. Good morning. On the wake up, it's your boy BOOGOTTINYC. Let's go. Let's go. Big drip. Let's go. What y'all drinking? Bring. What I know, what I drink. 14% alcohol by volume. Big drip. Let's go. Flavors off the chart. Five and crack a can. My time's what it's about to be with big drip in your hand. 10 G's, 2 P's. Yes, I like double combination out, cause we ain't cutting for the bubble. Stay in trouble, come against the drip. Can so dirty, make you flip and shake again. Yeah, that's spirits. Made for you to feel it. 14% blended raspberry lemon. Come on, for men and women, take a sip and take a trip. I can't help but pour it up and get the drip. Big drip. Big drip. Flavors off the charts, five and crack a can. What you got to get with big drip in your hand? 2 G's. Yes, I like doubles to the combination out, cause we ain't cutting for the bubble. Stay in trouble, come against the drip. Can so pretty, make you flip and shake again. It's natural spirit, made for you to feel it. 14% blended raspberry lemon. Made for men and women, take a sip and take a trip. I can't open, pour a cup and get the drip. Big drip. Big drip. Flavor, big taste, big punch. Big drip, big flavor, big taste, big punch. Big drip, big flavor, big taste, big flavor, big taste, big flavor, big taste, big punch. Big drip, big flavor, big taste, big punch. Big drip, big flavor, big taste, big punch. Big drip, big flavor, big taste, big flavor, big taste, big flavor, big taste, big punch. Big drip, big flavor, big taste, big punch. Big drip, big flavor, big taste, big punch. As y'all can see, we sponsored by Big Drip, www.drinkbigdrip.com. As always, I want to show you guys massive love and respect for coming in and checking in with me, BOOGOTTINYC. And like I always said, you could have went anywhere, but the fact that you did come to hang out with me, I appreciate you. Today we got a couple of topics that I did want to go over that's involving the new administration that's coming in under Donald Trump. We have RFK. We also have the new border czar. There's a lot of controversy around these two picks. What do you guys think? Let me know your comments down below. I'll read them off as we go. We can also check out a couple of other things that's controversial in the news today that has to do with P-Ditty, Sean Combs, Jennifer Lopez, and a couple of other interesting topics that we're going to go over today. So not to waste you guys' time, let's get into it. Get 'em! One. Let me make sure the screen is right. Let's go. So basically, everyone is really angry right now at the pick that Donald Trump has chosen for border czar. And they have a lot of things to say about it, and they're being very straight up with their choice of words. As you can see by Mr. Garcia, who represents
no choice but to rip children from their parents because they were criminally prosecuting the parents pursuant prayer for him. Because I knew what his criminally prosecuting moment accepted, which then prevent the waiting.
So what we're talking about here today is let me backtrack a little bit here, everybody. What's going on here is we've got Congress asking questions to Trump's border czar, and he actually explodes as the Democrats are smearing him over the border policies, saying that he is really hard on how he treats people at the border. Let's go.
First of all, your comments are disgusting. I've served my country for 34 years. I find your this is out of control. Well. I've served my country for 34 years. And yes, I held a 5-year-old boy in my arms, but in back that tractor trailer, I knelt down beside him and said a prayer for him because I knew what his last 30 minutes of his life was like. And I had a 5-year-old son at the time. What I've been trying to do my 34 years serving my nation is to save lives. So for you to sit there and insult my integrity and my love for my country and for children, that's why this whole thing needs to be fixed. These egregious and cruel conditions and policies are not accidental. Mr. Holman, during your time as acting ICE director, deterrence was the order of the day for you. The memo bears that out, exactly what you planned for. The Trump administration claimed they had no choice but to rip children from their parents because they were criminally prosecuting the parents pursuant to zero tolerance policy. Again, and policies that the administration created and that you, Mr. Holman, accepted, enforced, and championed, as we've seen. Let me remind everyone that the Trump administration tried to ban asylum seeking and started the process of metering, which then prevents people from coming through legal ports of entry. That exacerbated the crisis. People are desperately waiting months just to get in line and be granted the inalienable rights to due process. Mr. Holman, you have said that most immigrants are, quote, not criminals other than the criminal act that they do when they enter the country illegally. That is why I think we ought to revisit decriminalizing desperation, striking sections 1325 and 1326 of Title 8 of the U.S. Code.
So what do you guys think as far as immigration when it comes down to the point of people entering the border? They're trying to say that under the former administration, when you come in illegally, that's taken as like you're being a criminal and entering illegally. So basically, they're trying to say you're coming across the border illegal, you're illegal, that's a crime. So Mr. Garcia is saying that under two statutes, they need to take those statutes and get rid of them because of the simple fact that they feel that parents and people that come over the border should not be considered the same criminals as are gang members and people and stuff of that nature. So they feel as if the past administration is being very stern on how they are going about catching and returning people back across the border instead of letting them into the United States and then figuring out where they should go, which is what's going on under the current administration.
Statutes that the administration has leveraged to separate thousands of children from their families. Mr. Holman, do you understand that the consequences of separation of many children will be lifelong trauma and carried across generations? Have we not learned from the internment of Japanese Americans? Mr. Holman, I'm a father. Do you have children? How can you possibly allow this to happen under your watch? Do you not care? Is it because these children don't look like children that are around you? I don't get it. Have you ever held a deceased child in your arms? First of all, your comments are disgusting. I've served my
I find your
I've served my
comments
country. I've
disgusting
served my
as well,
country
sir.
for 34 years.
I find your
this
comments
is out of
disgusting
control.
as well.
I've served my country for 34 years, and yes, I held a 5-year-old boy in my arms. That in back of that tractor trailer, I knelt down beside him and said a prayer for him because I knew what his last 30 minutes of his life were like, and I had a 5-year-old son at the time. What I've been trying to do my 34 years serving my nation is to save lives. So for you to sit there and insult my integrity and my love for my country and for children, that's why this whole thing needs to be fixed. And you're the member of Congress.
We agree on that.
Fix it.
We agree on that, but I disagree. But I also disagree with your characterization of immigrants as prone to criminality.
People for 3 decades on this.
Gentlemen, time has expired. It's my time now.
Mr. Chairman,
It's my time.
the gentleman ripped off about 7 different questions designed to go at the character of Mr. Holman, and Mr. Holman should be given a chance to respond. It was ridiculous, the way he just rattled them all off and wouldn't let him respond to them.
Let me say this. I understand that, but first of all, I'm gonna have civility in my hearings. All right? No,
I agree.
I have the floor.
I understand, and I agree with you.
I'm gonna have civility. That's why I was banging, so that we could hear each person speak. I have been very courteous and very kind. Now, Mr. Holman, do you have something to say?
No one in this room has seen what I've seen in my 34-year career.
Very well.
No one has experienced what I've experienced. I've saw many dead bodies coming across this border. And you want to talk about the memo? This memo is one option to stop death. Not just about enforcing the law, stop death. If you want to legalize illegal immigration, good luck with that, because it's going to get a hell of a lot worse on that border. If you say, well, okay, from now on, there'll be no consequence, no deterrence. It's not illegal to come to this country illegally. More families will come. 31% women will be raped. More children will die. We're a nation of laws. If you don't like it, sir, change it. You're the legislator. I'm the executive branch, and I've served my country honorably for 34 years. And I will not sit here and have anybody say that I don't care about children because you're not the same color as my children.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Comer.
I have to begin with clarifying something that Representative Tlaib said in her opening.
So yeah, that's one part. What do you guys think about the new border czar and what they're saying about his policies, that he is not considerate when it comes down to children? What do you guys think about that? Is that something that we need to take into account, even though they're saying that the people that came into the country are illegal, and that if they came into the country illegal, they should go home illegal with their children? What do you guys feel about that? Also, we've got information from CNN who's pretty peed off, and we've got this information coming from the Devery Dawkins show, a great guy who I've been following this entire election campaign. He's very thorough with his information, and I like to give him a shout out for this content right here, because I like to search different people's content to see who has what going on in order to determine, the good jewels and pick out good content from different areas and get right to the point. I do this for you guys, and I hope you guys appreciate it, because I try to do 30-minute shows. I try to talk real quick with my commentary, because I know you guys, don't want to hear me talking all the time. You really want to get to the meat and the juices of the content. So what I try to do is make sure I'm giving you that. So right now we've got CNN host loses his mind over a JFK nomination. I really want you guys to check this out, because my guy Devery Dawkins said it's shameful and dangerous. CNN Jake Tapper loses his mind after a bombshell nomination, and that nomination is RFK being nominated to be a part of the new administration with Donald Trump. Check out my boy's content. Peace.
Is yes, I'm not even going to waste your time. Let's just hop into this immediately. Watch.
Sanjay, I know you like to steer clear of politics, but this really isn't about politics, because this is somebody who has been, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has been pushing quackery, who has been pushing lies, who has been pushing conspiracy theories. You've been talking to experts in the health community, the medical community, preparing for him, RFK Jr., to be given some sort of role in health. What have they said to you?
Well, it's not often that the entire medical and public health community is going to be in lockstep on something, but they're pretty close on this in terms of their significant concerns, horror even. Somebody said to me today, I can't think of any single individual who'd be more damaging to public health than RFK. Keep in mind, I think if the reporting's correct and the job is the Secretary of Health and Human Services, that comprises the CDC. We just got through this pandemic, comprises the FDA, comprises the NIH. He's talked about wanting to basically strip funding for infectious diseases overall. Again, just coming out of this pandemic with concerns about other viruses and things out there.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The most dangerous person for the health of America, that wouldn't be Dr. Fauci. And remember, Gupta, you got gooped on Joe Rogan. Do you remember that when you embarrassed yourself? You didn't even know what you were talking about. I mean, these people, they have zero credibility. This is the only time that everybody in the actual health community in America agrees on one thing. You guys were all in lockstep when it came to COVID, lying to the American people. Now,
so he said what I wanted to say. That's why I had to let Devery go, because he basically said what I was going to try to follow up and say. So, bro, don't kill me for your content, but I'm really appreciating what you're doing now. So, just trying to show and share with the people. So, don't strike me. Don't strike me.
Warned you guys, the media, they are going to do everything they can to stop Trump from actually succeeding in any of this. They could not believe any of these nominations. What they're doing, if you're paying attention, is that every time a pick is nominated or someone is nominated, what CNN will do is they'll bring on 2, 3, even 4 people immediately just debunking everything, right? In their own way, of course. All right, now, if you found that entertaining, you're going to find this clip entertaining from MSNBC. I want you to hear the energy in her voice. She just sounds defeated when she has to say out loud that RFK Jr. has been nominated. Check this out.
Sources tell NBC News that the president-elect, Donald Trump, is expected to pick Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Trump had previously promised RFK a, quote, big role after RFK abandoned his independent bid for president and endorsed Donald Trump. The New York Times describes him like this, as a, quote, environmental lawyer who has no medical or public health degrees and has promoted anti-vaccine conspiracies for years, end quote. Regarding the Food and Drug Administration, the agency that is responsible for the safety of our prescriptions, vaccines, cosmetics.
So I just want to tap in here, because one thing that I do know is that our agencies, as far as the FDA and certain agencies like that, have to make sure that our foods, drugs, and things like that are good or okay for us to consume. But have they been doing that is a question that I'd like to ask. And what do you think about that? Why aren't some of our foods accepted in other countries is something else that I'd like to ask you, because other countries like Japan and like certain places overseas, they don't even want our food, and they strike stuff like American-made Skittles, as far as things like cereals, potato chips, drinks, and things like that, because they say that the food that we consume is not healthy food that we should be consuming. So I don't know if I have a problem with somebody going in and seeing what's in the ingredients, bringing it all to a front, and getting us back to a nutritious lifestyle where we can actually eat good food. It's not right for us to be eating all of these nasty foods and things that are unhealthy for us and getting us on a whole bad track and making us unhealthy as a nation and as a country. So I am for this. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm for anything that's gonna dive into what's going on with acceptance of certain ingredients and certain things that human beings are not even supposed to be intaking as humans.
Our food, even veterinary medicine, an agency that would be under his purview. RFK has said that, quote, entire departments have to go. Let's bring into our breaking news coverage former Obama White House Policy Director, MSNBC medical contributor, Dr. Kavita Patel. Dr. Patel, your first reaction. Oh my God. I mean, those of us who have spent our lifetime, kind of decades working in and around in HHS, I'm not kidding, Nicole, my texts are flying off the chain, both Democrats and Republicans saying, this can't be real. Someone must have gotten this wrong. This can't be possible. And now the second underlying chain, there's some silver linings. The second thought I had is, he can't get confirmed, can he? But
Okay, so I found that to be entertaining for myself because I just love seeing MSNBC feel defeated because I think they've done enough damage to our society. But that's a whole nother conversation. Secondly, there is no credibility left at this point when it comes to the health community, the medical community, the pharmaceutical community. I don't care what you call it, whether you end it with the word community, the entire establishment is in the trash at this point with the American people. These picks, even though it might be controversial to these individuals, to the American people, they could care less. They want to see change, and sometimes change requires a radical decision, some radical moves, and you could say that RFK Jr., Matt Gaetz, Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, these are radical moves, just like Trump being elected could be a radical move for America, but that's probably what we need at this point.
All I know is the majority of people that I know that took the jab got all of their underlying symptoms were heightened, and they're no longer underlying. People having heart attacks, people having diabetes issues that automatically was escalated, people having failures of certain arteries and kidneys and things of that nature. But none of this stuff was going on before they took that jab. And we couldn't even say the word. It's funny how we're able to say vaccinate now. Because we couldn't even say that before a couple of months ago. They would stop my live and jam me up right now. So this is all of the stuff that I'm talking about. And I'm so proud to say I didn't get it. I have not gotten a vaccination since they were calling them booster shots in the 80s. I'm telling y'all straight up and down, that's how old your boy is, dead up. I'm being straight up with you. And I know y'all didn't hear too much of what I'm saying, but I'm telling you right now, as far as getting jabs and stuff like that, they were not giving us no love, could not even say the word, couldn't even bring it up, couldn't even mention it in your commentary because you'd get struck. I almost had a job working somewhere in New Jersey, had my own television show, doing the same thing that I do now, hosting and talking about, different topics and things of that nature. They just looked at me, I talked, I had a really good shot at actually getting the job. Next thing you know, they asked me if I got the jab. I told them no. They said, don't worry about it, it's not going to be a problem. Y'all see I'm still in the crib on YouTube, right? It's your boy BOOGOTTINYC. But I'm not even angry. I was happy with my decision. I didn't get sick. I'm healthy. Look at me. I'm taking care of myself. And y'all still rocking with me. So that's all I really care about. So again, I want to give my boy Devery Dawkins Show a bunch of love. I want to shout you out, homeboy, and I appreciate using your content because I'm only using it for commentary. I'm going to take a little bit more because what you're saying right now is making relative sense. And then we're going to go move into the next segment. Thank you.
Because the same people that are saying this is crazy are the same people that have been lying to the American people, especially during COVID. And when our children are sick, there's clearly a health crisis in this country. We are severely obese. We're not living as long as we should for how wealthy our country is. I don't know what else is there to truly debate. Now, if you've been obviously watching on this screen, you would see the difference between RFK Jr. and the current person in charge of our health. I think I'm going to go with RFK Jr. Now, the real question is this even feasible given that there's a new Senate Majority Leader? Well, let's hear from him in his own words.
Right. But for example, on the health committee, you have Senator Collins, Senator Murkowski. They've already raised concerns about RFK Jr. I think when you have Matt Gaetz, there's already some Republicans who have spoken out and said some things. The numbers start to get problematic if that is a problem, and your onus for you is to try to get the president who he wants to be in the cabinet. Do you then punt to a recess and try to recess the Senate for 10 days and get those appointments in?
Well, it's an option, but obviously it takes, you have to have all Republicans vote to recess as well. So the same Republicans that you mentioned that might have a problem voting for somebody under regular order probably also have a problem voting to put the Senate into recess. You have to have concurrence from the House. There's a process. All this is a process. But I don't think any of those things are necessarily off the table. I think we have to have all the options on the table, and these nominees deserve their day in court. They deserve a hearing, a confirmation hearing, an opportunity.
What up,
And the Senate will
Deep
perform
House?
its constitutional role under advice and consent. But we are not going to allow the Democrats to thwart the will of the American people in giving President Trump the people that he wants in those positions to implement his agenda.
Okay, so I'll just be honest with you guys. This John Thune character wasn't even MAGA's first choice. We know that. There was a lot of backlash with him getting chosen. People really wanted Rick Scott, but here we are. So he's already on a short lease from what I've seen. But secondly, I don't even like the way he's even describing his answers. I mean, it sounds as if he's giving me the whole Kamala Harris, yeah, I will follow the law type of rhetoric. Dude, are you going to get this done or not? That's what I want to hear, right? This is the problem with politics, is they never actually answered the question, right?
And then the other problem with politics, Devery, is when they do plan on doing something, there's always red tape and someone else that can stop them from what they want to do. You could have the best agenda and the phenomenal things that you want to get done, but that doesn't mean that the people and the other people that have to stamp that are going to be for it. So yeah, let's get into a little bit of what's going on with Shyne, aka former bad boy artist, who speaks on saying that P-Ditty used him as the fall guy in a 1999 shouting involving himself. And let's just let Shyne tell you guys what he feels about where Diddy is right now and basically what happened that night that some may know about, but many still aren't clear on. Let's let him say it from his perspective.
I was absolutely set up to be the fall guy.
The self-proclaimed fall guy now speaking out in his own words. Almost 25 years since that infamous nightclub shooting during a night out with Sean Diddy Combs and his then-girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez. 3 people were injured that night.
There's a narrative that still exists that you knowingly took the fall for Sean Combs.
Taking the fall means not snitching, not getting your friends in trouble. Even today, I wouldn't want to do anything to get anyone in trouble.
Sure. So did anyone come to you and say, hey man, we need you to take this hit for Diddy?
No, I did that out of honor and integrity.
So I was actually around during this time, and I know you guys are going to be angry with me for chopping in right now, but it's important because I remember what it felt like. Diddy was at the pinnacle, at the peak, at the height of his career. He was doing his thing, and this is right after we lost Notorious B.I.G. Shyne came in as a new artist on Bad Boy who a lot of people really didn't accept, but a lot did because he actually could flow and he had a lot going on with his melodies and his voice. The only problem was he had a really big voice like Biggie, and a lot of people felt that Sean Combs was trying to replace Biggie with Shyne. So that's where a lot of negativity came in, and a lot of people didn't really like Shyne. So he could only get to a certain level, even though he dropped good music. Bad Boy at this time was really going through a really hard time because they had just lost Notorious B.I.G. Sean Combs, P-Ditty, Puff Daddy at that time was scrambling, trying to figure out his next move. Shyne was in the wings. He gave him a shot. Next thing you know, Shyne came out with a couple of singles. They were moving around, getting things going. Jennifer Lopez, P-Ditty, Shyne are all at a party. The last thing I heard about it was Shyne was the one that pow-powed. That was back then. few years later, fast forward to now, they're saying that it was different because the victim actually always said that it was Sean Combs that powed her in the face, and it was not Shyne. So now that this person is incarcerated, a lot of stuff is coming out because maybe a lot of people feel comfortable and much safer that they can speak out. Let's let Shyne finalize.
Sean Combs' representatives telling ABC News this evening in part, Mr. Combs categorically denies Mr. Barrow's allegations, including any suggestion that he orchestrated Mr. Barrow to take the fall or sacrificed him. Adding that Mr. Combs was acquitted of all charges.
If you were hurt in a car crash, healing should be your #1 focus. An experienced car crash.
Moses Shyne Barrow, known to hip-hop fans worldwide simply as Shyne.
Now tell me who wanna with us. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I'm bang.
A rising star in the late 90s rap game.
Number 8 on jams right now.
His spotlight ultimately dimmed after being sent to prison for the 1999 shooting that almost brought down now disgraced Bad Boy Records founder and Shyne mentor, Diddy.
I do not own a gun, nor did I possess a gun that night.
But after almost a decade in prison and years of reinvention, the Grammy Award winner says he's shining brighter than ever before.
I'm 46 years old, so I've been humbled by life. There was a time where people wanted to tell the victim story. People wanted to tell the, I hate Diddy's story, or I hate this person's story, or everyone's to blame for where I'm at in life story. And I didn't want to tell that story. I was only what you made me, then I saved me.
A new documentary, The Honorable Shyne.
Signing to Bad Boy, I became a millionaire.
Dropping on Hulu on November 18th, chronicling his life. Beginning with his early days in his native Belize.
I came from Belize when I was 8 years old, came to Brooklyn. I had, gotten into some trouble as a youth and almost got killed, and promise to my mom was I'd stay out of trouble and I'd just be legit. And so my mom was a single mom. I had to help her pay the bills. I had to take care of myself.
Leading him to discover his own talent for music.
Hip-hop was the preeminent, dominant culture. And so, I'm heavily influenced by Nas, by Wu-Tang Clan, Jay-Z, B.I.G., Snoop, Tupac, all the greats. I started maybe in the bathrooms, just having the ciphers. But I was more of a tough guy than a rapper. I guess that came from frustration, single parent home. But long story short, delivering messages, I would ride over the Brooklyn Bridge and lyrics just kept coming to me. And I would just have that confidence.
From a Gucci in the winter, I seen you with your girls walking in your chinchilla front.
Developing a flow reminiscent of the late notorious B.I.G.
With that line, what's your name, what's your sign? Soon as he buy that wine, I just creep up from behind.
And a swagger to match. He was at the center of a bidding war between labels. Shyne ultimately signing with Sean Combs' Bad Boy Records in 1998.
Was Diddy a good coach?
He was an extraordinary coach. He was able to bring the best out of me.
Very soon, he was riding high off his hit first single, Bad Boys.
What type of is slang and bang in the streets? Bad boy.
But a night out celebrating his success would end terribly wrong.
Rap star Sean Puffy Combs is free on bail after he and his girlfriend, entertainer Jennifer Lopez, were arrested after a nightclub shooting in New York City.
On December 27, 1999, a shooting rang out at the then popular Club New York. Shyne was with Diddy, known then as Puffy, his girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, and bodyguard Anthony Wolf Jones. Former NYPD detective Derek Parker responded to the scene that night. I spoke with him in May.
There was a dispute between an individual inside the establishment. Shots were fired. Shyne ran out with the gun in his waist. The cops caught him. Diddy, J-Lo, and Wolf ran. They got to the corner of 8th Avenue, jumped in a car, and went about 2 blocks before they were apprehended.
You were on track to be a star in the business.
Yeah.
And yet you were at a nightclub and you felt the need to carry a gun.
I had a weapon to defend myself. As a 19-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid from the streets, you only know to handle things and defend yourself on your own because there's a mistrust of law enforcement.
Do you regret that night?
I am always remorseful that anyone got hurt, even if it wasn't for my gun, because according to the victims, it was Diddy that shot them. But I don't regret defending myself.
See, so now I hate to cut you guys off, but again, as he just stated, and I've never heard you say this before, my brother. I gotta bring that out. I've never heard him say this before, that from my istal. So, if he had an istal on him and he ran out and they caught him with it, and then J-Lo and Puffy ran to the corner and got in another car and they got caught with an istal too, that means that everybody had istals on them. And that could have meant that what else the people are saying is true, that Shyne wasn't the one that pow-powed. It was the other guy. Allegedly.
Because I wouldn't be here.
On Sunday evening, I went to Club New York, and under no circumstances whatsoever did I have anything to do with a shooting.
Combs was charged with gun possession and for bribing his driver to take ownership of his weapon. He was later acquitted. J-Lo was never charged. Meanwhile, Shyne was found guilty, convicted on multiple assault charges, reckless endangerment, and criminal possession of a weapon. He served nearly 9 years in prison.
What did prison teach you?
Great lessons of humility, great lessons of perspective, great lessons of durability. Being incarcerated allowed me to understand time.
Prison.
All right, so not to get struck by a nightline, I gotta keep it funky with y'all. I do appreciate you all coming here, and I do want to make sure that you're getting the right content that you are looking for. I also want to educate people and make them open their minds and search for different content over the internet and do the same type of research that I do, because you have the access just as well as I do. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere, but the fact that you came to chill with me, I appreciate you. If you got a little more time, I'd like you to check out the new sweatshirts that we have. These are the puff prints at www.drinkbigdrip.com. We also have them in various different colors. We got the October print for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That's the peach and the pink right there. Puff print, sweatshirts and hoodies. We also got it in white. You guys, you want to check out the white one, we got that too. Got the white hoodies. You know, we also have the white hoodies. We got the collegiate t-shirts. This is the hot thing right now, the college letters. You know, so we got the big drip and that. So yeah, y'all, we got a bunch of merch over here. Support the web, support the page, www.drinkbigdrip.com. And like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So to the next time, which is tomorrow, because I keep on searching for content and making sure that I jumble it up and give us all the goodies so I could spend this half hour or a little more with you and giving you guys content and what I think that should be looked into. So if you guys come up with some content, see some stuff that would be a good topic, hit me in my email address, which is drinkbigdrip@gmail.com, or go to the website www.drinkbigdrip.com. Leave me a message over there, subscribe to the channel, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So till tomorrow, get 'em! 1.